So at the time, Morgan couldn't get people to pay attention. People were going to the bathroom, but he like recalibrated, went towards a North Star that was more authentic. 3 years later, I go to my hometown amphitheater. He's opening up for Dan and Shay, Florida Georgia Line. And so we're all like one recalibration, one song, one moment away from like smoky bar, nobody paying attention, grabbing a beer, to like standing ovation in the amphitheater.
Welcome to the Stay Independent podcast, a space to share tangible and actionable ways for artists to stay independent. Today, we're taking you from year 1 to year 10 of how to build an independent artist career with one of the most successful independent artists in Nashville. We're catching him right as he enters his 10th year in music, and with just under 500 million streams, 3 million TikTok followers, and big hits like My Person and Made, he's proven you can succeed without a label. Please welcome Spencer Crandell.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
Thanks for fluffing my pillow in the beginning. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for doing this. Have you ever thought about starting a podcast?
I did, and then it was way too much, and you were a part of that, and I probably owe you a public apology. We did a podcast for a while, for those of you who don't know, and it was super fun. I think that was at a stage in my life where I thought I could do everything all the time. And I look back at that stage and I like just spread myself so thin, and all of a sudden the music took a hit and then the podcast wasn't very good. And I was just like, I got to focus on the thing. And so then we kind of abandoned ship on it, but it was so fun. And I like think about it all the time. I'm like, I wish I had a podcast again.
Yeah.
Maybe
I want to tie that in later.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot that I learned from that experience. And I mean, for me, it was just really cool to like get an inside look, I feel like, of your operation. And really what we're here today is to dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's get all in that.
Yeah. It's cool to catch you entering year 10. You moved here in 20.
Kind of made my heart sink. I'm like, whoa,
I know.
Holy cow.
I think you're doing all right. They say it's a 10-year town, and I think you're I know there are artists like Haley Witters who are, or like an even better example is man, I'm blanking on his name, but he's got this song where he talks about being 16 years into a 10-year town or something like that. Thinking back to year 1, moving to Nashville, like, what are your thoughts? Like, what immediately sticks out to you?
Yeah, I mean, year 1, funny enough, I was in my dorm room. My like very quick version of my story is I went to go play college football. I got 2 shoulder surgeries. I had no idea what to do with my life, and so I picked up a guitar in my dorm room and just started messing around. And all of a sudden, my buddies were like, "Hey, learn this cover song." And I was like, "Okay, that sounds fun." And then they were like, "Hey, we're going to have people over later. You should like do a little concert." I was like, "No, I can never do that." And then I remember playing guitar and singing and just playing some covers. We were messing around and like, being degenerate drunks in the dorm room. And later somebody was like, "Hey, can you record that cover? I'd love to like listen to it walking to class." And I was like, that's kind of crazy that someone wants like my version. They like want to hear me sing like in their earbuds back in the day, not AirPods. And it just like kind of got me thinking. And I was like, could I do this? I was like, no, that's not like a real job. Like my dad has a real job. Nobody like just makes music all day. Just being from Colorado, I didn't know anybody that did that. That was so like not even like on the list of options. You know what I mean? It just didn't even make sense. Yeah. And so then I started to make music and put out covers and all that stuff. And by the end of that year, I took my parents to Outback Steakhouse. I don't know why. And I was like, would you guys kill me if I quit football and like tried this music thing? Like for real? Like, would you give me, back in the day, I was like shaking like a leaf. I was like, technically with my scholarships, I saved you whatever, like $30,000, and so would you give me like $3,000 to go cut like a song? And like, I'll pay you back my dad's like, chill. You last year have proved like at the time I already had maybe like 70,000 Instagram followers. And my dad's like, you're doing this thing, so we'll give you some money and like, let's just see what happens. This is fun. Like, this is why we saved money for you guys. For this reason, you're right. You did save us some money with your college scholarship. So like, let's take a crack at it. And then that was kind of like just my first year was just like learning chords on a guitar, trying to impress girls before we went out, taking my parents to Outback and being like, I think I like this thing. Like, it's more like an itch that I thought would go away. And then with time just got stronger and stronger. And I was like, I am sitting in this class learning about construction management. And all I'm thinking about is like writing the second verse to this shitty song that never came out,
Yeah. Yes. When I moved to Nashville, I had a similar experience. I was in a training pipeline for, in the military. There's just, you constantly are going to school and getting different types of education. I was actually learning French. And I felt the same way. I was like I had requested French. I wanted to learn French. I'd like jumped through so many hoops to make them give me French. And all I could think about was like this growing sense of like a calling, I think, to what I've started with No Name. Something I've heard in episodes we've recorded already is that, successful artists, I've heard this from artists, I've heard this from tastemakers, I've heard this from industry people, like confidence is so crucial to an artist's success. What do you feel like? Do you feel like you had confidence in what you were doing, and why did you have it? Why do you think you had it?
I think I probably have a little bit more delusion than others, which is like the bastard cousin of confidence. It's like my ability to put my head down and not care what other people think is relatively high, especially strangers. I have a harder time with people I know and love, but like something in me clicked somewhere in college where I'd start to post videos and then someone would say like, you suck. I'd be like, okay, Sally Pants 222. Like, who the fuck are you? Why should I care about you? I'll never see you in my life. I'll never meet you. You don't know my middle name. You don't know anything about me. And in 20 years from now, I still won't think about you. Like, it just doesn't matter at all. So I got past that part, but I do think confidence, if you really break it down, is like making a promise to yourself, fulfilling that promise, and then having that as equity to then go back on. So like, confidence isn't, I think I'm the shit because I just think I'm the shit. Confidence is hopefully, man, I can play shows because I've now gone and played 10 shows and I feel good about it. I'm confident in my songwriting because I sit there and I hone my craft. Like, Peyton Manning used to talk about like, I'm not nervous walking into a football game because I did everything I can do. And that's kind of how I felt by the time I moved to Nashville. I was like, there's nothing else that I could do. Like, I'm confident in my ability to walk into an office and be real with people and say, I have this to work on. I think that's maybe the difference between confident and cocky. Cocky is filling in the gaps where your confidence still lacks. Being confident is being confident enough to say, I don't know. And confidence is, I have this equity built up because I have earned it. I've gone, like if someone said, hey, bench 400 pounds, if you're confident, it's because you've benched 400 pounds before, or you've gotten really, really close. I would have no confidence in doing that today. So I would not be confident in doing that because I don't have that built up equity in myself. And so from a young age, I just started trying and failing. I'd play shows, I'd write songs, I'd put out songs, I'd do all this stuff. And weirdly, the failure is like what builds the confidence because you have this little like base of going, well, I'm willing to try. And when I try, I get better. When I get better, I can do it. And, it's just like rinse, repeat. So I don't know.
That's where I wanted to, but that's where I wanted to tie in the podcast. I feel like, we could say it like we tried it. It didn't work. Mm-hmm. But something that I think is really important personally, but I feel like I've seen with you and your artist career is like, there's not a fear to like try something and it just not work out. Do you feel like that's been a key to your success?
I'm doing that right now. Like, that's not something that I tell people to do. And then like, I'm like, yeah, back in my day, like I posted a video last night that just tanked, did horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm trying something. And like,
Yep.
there's probably this kind of like 80-20 rule of 80% of the stuff I do, I'm like confident in, and I'm going to take a pretty educated at bat. And then like 20% of the stuff I do is just like trying to stumble into what's next, because I'm always trying to go, hey, how can I evolve my sound? How can I evolve my socials? How can I evolve my personal life? How can I do all this stuff? It's through trial and error. And I just think I'm okay, because I know for a guy that posts videos every single day, that video doesn't matter last night. It just doesn't matter. And it's not going to matter if I post 100 bad videos. If I unlock something, like I had a trend happen for me this last year. I saw Warren Zeiders do this thing. Shout out, Warren. I stole your idea, which like I think everyone should do this, because I'm not sitting here like I stole his song. I saw something he did. He just cut to black and white. I was like, oh, that caught my attention.
Yeah. I remember you. I've seen those. Yeah.
Yep. So it caught my attention. I did like my version of it. I like cut the vocals and cut to black and white. And I was like, this is crushing for him. I should try it. And I tried it. The first one didn't do well, but I was like, I still feel like I could do well. And then that song is probably my fastest streaming song of all time. Got watched like 500 million views, like 500 million times from last year to now. And I still repost those videos and they still crush. And that was just me trying a 20% thing while I was continuing to do my 80% thing. Now that 20% thing is in my 80% repertoire.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do I say it? Less pretentious. And it's like, that's just how you find out, is just like trying and failing. And the thing I tried last night, maybe I'll try it again in 2 months and it'll work. Maybe it won't.
Yeah.
I'm just very okay with failing, because I also think nobody's watching me like nearly as close as I think that they are. You know what I mean? Like nobody's sitting there going like recording my at-bats like they're scoring a baseball game. They just see your wins, honestly, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we enter year 3, looking back at year 1, is there anything that you feel like is true about you stepping into this career that you still think about every day? Maybe just like a mission or a something that's driven you from day one that you still feel waking up this morning?
To simplify it, I would say create things I love with people I love. Mm-hmm. When everything is going to shit, or I feel like I can't get a song to work, or the streams are going down, the thing that I can always take with me and the thing that always keeps me coming back is, if I won the lottery and I got $1 trillion tomorrow, I'd still book a ride next week with people that I laugh with and like have fun with. That's it. That's what I'm here to do. I think we can all get caught up in numbers and streams and all that stuff, and it's very easy to, and there's some validity in that. I also think some artists are so bleeding heart creative, they can't get into the numbers, and that also hurts them. I'm probably the opposite. I probably love the business side of things, and all of a sudden I'm like, we need a hit, man, and blah, 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 and like just trying to play this like old school record game or something. And it's so unpredictable. The one thing I can know for sure that's going to bring me happiness, that's going to keep me kind of solid, grounded in this industry, create something I love with somebody I love, and then it always moves my chess piece just one step forward, just a little bit. Yep. And that's, even if it's, take like progress out of it, take like achievement out of it, just the experience of creating something I love with people I love, that is worth it to me. If that's all this is at the end of it, I'm okay with that.
That's awesome. All right, year 3, you've been here for a couple years. Mm-hmm. Think back to, maybe just overcoming the shock of like, whoa, like I remember moving here and just being like,
I know,
no, this is different. Like like trying different networking games and like, maybe your first attempt at some co-writes, like looking back at year 3, like what sticks out to you?
I just remember I wanted it so bad. I would do like 3 writes a day. I would play any show anyone would give me, like just so dedicated. And I certainly learned a lot. Like I feel like I have some siblings who went to grad school, And I feel like I went to grad school for music during that time. I just like was so exposed to everything. I would sit in the studio and I would ask every producer I worked with, like, you just said you're going to sidechain something. What the hell is a
Yeah.
sidechain? Like,
Yep.
you EQ'd and now it sounds better. Like, explain your magic. Don't just do the spell. Like, tell me. Same thing in Right. Someone would go, the second verse needs to be more visual. Like, don't tell me how you feel. Show me how you feel. And I'd be like, walk me through that. Like, I want to know. Because I'm just sitting there going like, damn, I'm so sad about this. And they're like, could you say like, there's ice clinking in the bottom of my whiskey glass. I guess that means I'm never been this sad or whatever. It's like, oh, they showed me visually instead of just telling me. I went through every facet of my career just going, can you teach me? I want to be the dumbest person in every room and just go, tell me everything. Tell me everything you know. Tell me everything you know. And so I would just like parasitically maybe just be like, I want to know all of your knowledge. And it worked in a lot of ways. I mean, I met Tyler Rich, who's a great buddy of mine, and he was super sweet to me. Kind of a mentor at the time, still is. And then he introduced me to Chris Lane, and I met Chris Lane at a barbecue, and I lied to him and said, hey, I'm going to be in Denver. When you're going to be in Denver, all acoustic open, here are my socials. He's like, sure, I don't care. And then I went out to Denver and played a show for like 3,000 people, and I had never played a show for like 100 people before. And after the show was so grateful, and he's like, dude, if you want, I can't pay you, but I will, if you want, you can acoustic open on the rest of this tour. You have good socials, blah, blah, blah. So at the time, it was Chris Lane, and then the support was Morgan Wallen, and then it was me.
Whoa.
And Morgan, at the time, I mean, God bless him, couldn't get people to pay attention. People were going to the bathroom. I say this because it's a great example of,
right.
He's been in town, he had the record deal, he's coming off The Voice, and he's singing Whiskey Glasses, and people are going and grabbing a beer. Same song that ends up being a hit. But he kind of rebranded, and he like cut the sleeves off his flannel, he got his mullet. And then like 3 years later, I went from hearing him sing songs like The Way I Talk in like a smoky bar, and people being like on their phone. 3 years later, I go to my hometown amphitheater. He's opening up for Dan and Shay, Florida Georgia Line. He gets like the loudest standing ovation I've ever heard at the end of his set, and 75% of people leave at the end of his set. Like they came there to see Morgan. I cannot explain to you, like 3 years before, something wasn't clicking, but he like recalibrated, went towards a North Star that was more authentic, and it like clicked. And so we're all like one recalibration, one song, one moment away from like smoky bar, nobody paying attention, grabbing a beer, to like standing ovation in the amphitheater. Like it's that possible.
Is there a time that you can name that you applied that lesson that you'd learned?
I mean, I still am. Like I feel so close to the like rocket ship moment, and I've had glimpses of it, but I also know that it's just this game of like, it's like a war of attrition. You show up every day, and it's kind of sad, but you watch people drop like flies. You watch people move here, move back, move here, move back. And You're just standing in line, and people in front of you get out of line. People in front of you, they don't adapt. I watch so many people move here. They got the big record deal. I'd go to their signing party. I'm so jealous. And then they never did the internet. They never did TikTok because they feel like they didn't have to. And that's something that I adjusted to, that I'm super grateful for, and it changed my life. And so it's so weird to like, there's always a new adjustment. Like maybe AI is the next adjustment. Maybe I don't really know.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not AI.
Yeah.
But it probably is. Like it probably, and even me saying that, like finding some hesitancy in something, like probably where you got to dig in and look into it and figure it out. But we're all one moment away. And I've also seen the opposite. I moved to town, so many people crushing it, like massive songs. And all those people, I can't even tell you what they're up to now. And that's not to shit on them. That's to say, like, enjoy it while you can, because it doesn't last forever. And it could also happen at any moment to anyone. Like it's so
Right.
lottery, luck, whatever. Luck is like when preparation and opportunity meet, whatever that saying is. But there is some of that. It's like you just stay in the same place. You bang the same instrument. This is who I am. This is what I want. The spotlight of the market hits you at the right time when the label comes in and all that stuff. Other than that, you create things you love with people you love, and you get better every single day. That's all you can control. That's the lesson I've seen. It's just,
yeah.
But also the authenticity part of that, watching Morgan go from like middle part leather cuffs, kind of like a Daughtry meets country, to like super redneck, like hip hop thing that will crush for him. It still does. It's because it was more authentic, and it connected with a fan base that if he had doubled down on the rock thing, maybe he's nobody. Like that's crazy to think about. Like probably the second guy under Garth Brooks with the potential to eclipse him could be just like another guy who moved back to his hometown.
Yes.
So
if you haven't seen the early pictures of Morgan Wallen fresh off The Voice too, he looks like he looked like a youth pastor.
Straight up, dude. And that's who I watch play every night.
Yeah. Oh, you watched the youth pastor play?
Dude, every night.
Was he wearing like a tie?
Yeah, kind of. Sometimes he wore like I said, like almost like Vans Warped Tour, like sneakers, and like his whole band, which they still are. They're all like metalheads and stuff, and they're super nice. Morgan's a sweet guy. I feel like they'd have him on stage singing Creed, and then he'd be back in the green room singing like Keith Whitley. And you're like,
yeah, yep.
Which one are you? And guess what? He probably got sick of it and was like, guys, I'm not a rock guy. I want to do this. Right. Yeah. And they threw him in with FGL and Up Down, and it was like, just
there we go.
And we're all one click away. I mean, maybe maybe I am truly one song away from my biggest moment, my career-changing moment. I don't know. I just have to keep showing up.
Right. Year 5. So, let's recap real quick. Year 1, I feel like you're establishing confidence and building confidence, like figuring out your mission, your why. Year 3, you called it grad school for music. Yeah. You say, one thing that I still feel from you, like you're doing this podcast, it's a brand new podcast. You just always say yes.
Yeah, always, man.
And there's obviously like you have to set up boundaries, especially as you have more opportunities. But you just have always example. Said,
I'm going to cut you off because you were so sweet to me, and you always said yes to me about my podcast and helping me with stuff. So when you asked me to do something, it was just a no question, and that's how you continue to move forward in this industry, because you showed up with no agenda for me. So I will gladly show up with no agenda for you. Wow. And 2 years from now, when this is one of the bigger podcasts in the music industry, I'll be like, I showed up maybe in some of the early episodes, and I'll show up again, and I'll show up again. Like that's who I want to be, because I feel like nobody really did that for me. You either have one or the other. You have a bunch of people who showed up for you, so you want to be that. When I moved to town, I just felt alone. And I hate that. I hate that anyone would feel like they can't have a buddy or a neighbor to call on. So I always want to be that guy.
Thank you for saying that. That's really kind of you.
Of course, man.
So year 5, I feel like it's fair to say, looking 5 years ago, that's when like TikTok started.
Yeah,
how did that change your career?
Perfect. What year is today?
It's 2025.
Yeah.
I did that last night. Dude, putting a date down, and I was like, is it 24 or 20?
I swear, the older you get, you're like, how old am I? What year is it? Yeah, it's July. So like, okay, 5 years ago, it's like 5.5 years ago. My sister says, hey, have you seen this app? I'm like, no. She's like, it's called TikTok. Or like, it was Musically. I'm like, no. And she shows it to me. I'm like, this is terrible.
I remember downloading TikTok and it just being a bunch of dancing. And that was my first impression. I was like, this sucks.
Well, and it's all like 13-year-old girls in their room. Like, I'm like,
yeah, you feel like, ugh,
where do I fit into anything?
Yeah, no.
And then she said something that I actually thought was very astute. She's like, yeah, but like, what do people dance to? And I was like, oh, it's actually a music app. Because you can't, no one's dancing to silence. Even if it's like a groovy, like, it's music.
Yeah.
And so I got super lucky. I got on there very early. It was like October 2019. And I just hammered it. I remember I missed the boat on Vine. It was late on Instagram. So I always felt like whatever was going to be like next, I was going to be there. And
wait, let's dig in there.
Yeah.
My impression of you has always been that you weren't late to stuff. I feel like, because you started on Twitter, right? You would post videos Twitter.
Yeah, I wasn't late. I was certainly like an early adopter, but there's like the gold rush ability if you're like the first.
Right.
And I was always like the 17th.
Okay.
And so I was like, dude, if this is a thing, maybe I waste my time on it for like 6 months. But I was like, I'm going to post 3 times a day on this app. Cover, original, cover, original, like just hammer. And then probably February, I start to have a song go viral called My Person, and people were using it for like their wedding and stuff. And there had been like 2,000 videos at the time. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Certainly the biggest thing that had ever happened to me. And then I had a few videos hit like 100,000 views, which I had never had in my life. On Instagram, if I got like 3,000 likes, I was like calling my mom. And so now it's like completely different. I just saw you could like outkick your coverage. This is also a brand new thing of like an algorithm that wasn't people that followed you.
Yeah.
I used to sit there and follow and unfollow people just so they'd follow me back so that they could see my stuff. Like,
yeah, everyone did that.
For sure. This was like early Instagram and Twitter and stuff. So then the world shuts down. March, COVID. I remember being at a bar and I watched the NHL season is canceled. The NBA season is canceled. And we're like, oh shit, is this a zombie apocalypse? Like, are we going to die? And then we're like selling our groceries and stuff. And I just remember being like, okay, well, everyone's downloading this thing. I got a head start. And it was like, I'll probably never have this moment again in my life, being like, it was like being in the desert and having a water stand and like looking around, there's no other water stands. It's like, everyone's home. I was like probably one of 3 country artists, maybe at the time on the app. And I already had a song that was moving. And like, just boom, through that year, I watched the song just blow up. And then really even the next year, it got even bigger. Got added to the highway in rotation, which was crazy and was my first number 1 over there, completely independent.
Sirius XM.
Yeah. And I just like had never felt that. And I all of a sudden would go, as like some of the stuff got lifted, I'd like be at the mall and someone would go like, I'm so sorry, are you Spencer Crandall? I'm like, I'm so sorry, how do you know who I am? Like, this is obviously a prank.
Yeah. Where's my friend around the corner?
It just clicked. Something clicked over, and all of a sudden, like, people like knocked on my parents' door that year and were like, is this where Spencer Crandall lives? And they were like,
oh my gosh,
don't love that. But they were like, I think something changed. And then I kind of did my first like headlining tour after that. And I wasn't selling 1,000 tickets, but I remember I did a tour before that, before COVID, in like maybe September of 2019. And I sold 4 VIP tickets in a city. And then I went back the next, 2 years later, something like that, like post TikTok. And I sold out the show, sold out VIP, and was like, the only thing different is TikTok, is this song. And I got lucky. And I think from there, I just, I stewarded a really like great opportunity and just showed up more than other people did.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to dig into this because it's like, I think there's a lot, like, let's, step back from it just being TikTok, because let's be honest, TikTok will probably come and go. There'll be something else. Like, what kind of attitude do you approach your career with to like take advantage of a moment like that?
I mean, there's some like humility to say, I'll try anything. Like, I'll not in like a sell your soul way, but like, even now I'm like in year 10, I'm like, there's going to be another TikTok. So I'll be ready when everyone's holding on to TikTok for your life and I see virtual reality or whatever pop up.
Right.
Like, I'll be there and I'll be a beginner and I'll be back at zero and I'll be calling my younger friends. How do I hit post on virtual reality? Like, that's what it is. It's not more complicated than that. And then there's also something to, again, like failing out loud. Like in the 6 months that I was on TikTok, I posted 3 times a day. So like 100 some days. So I probably posted 300 videos. Most of those videos ate shit. But I had learned so much, and I only learned so much from the stuff that doesn't work. And that really still informs me today. Like, I'm so comfortable with losing and like just striking out. Because I also know in this industry, if you bat 1 out of 1,000, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yep. One song out of the thousands that you write is a "Don't Take the Girl." You did it. Yeah. You are in the 1% of the 1% of the 1%.
Yeah, not to call you out either, too, but there's music that you've released that you've taken down, right?
Dude, there's a ton of music I've released that like I wouldn't release today. Like, I've put out probably like 100 songs or something in my career. I like probably
it took those songs to
like
get
20% of it.
Yeah. Well, it took those songs to get where you're at now.
Yeah, and I look at them with like nothing but love.
Yeah.
And I think people are afraid to cringe, and I actually look back with like nostalgic cringe. Like, oh, I understand what I was trying to do there. And then I can like web my whole career and go, yeah, I was listening to a ton of Sam Hunt here, and then I listened to a bunch of John Mayer here, and then I listened to this, and then I wanted to be more country, then I wanted to be less country, then I wanted to be this, and then I wanted to be that. And then I opened this part of my brain and I did this, and like I can walk you in succession through song release. I learned this, I learned this. And again, you talk about My Person and Made, and I've had something like The Right One in the last year. That's 3. That's 3.
Yeah.
That's why people buy a ticket to my tour this fall. Nobody's coming to sing Rooftop. Nobody's coming to sing I Thought We Broke Up, my hit single from 2017 that when it hit 1 million streams, I went out to dinner. Nobody's coming to see those.
No. Yeah, maybe they should. So what if you had to make a prediction on what is next? What would you say?
It's a good question. It's so funny because whatever's next is like weirdly just more of the same. Like it's just an attention war.
Well, what I'm really getting at is like, how would you say it's just what? So here's I'll name something.
Sure.
Have you heard of Roblox?
The game.
Yeah. So it's like a gaming platform, and it's essentially like YouTube for games.
Yeah.
And it's a super competitive, like people can build these games, and it's pretty like from what my understanding of the platform, like it's not easy to build a game, but like they make it like accessible to build a game. And there are artists that are building these worlds on Roblox, and then kids play the game. That it's a good experiential marketing app, you know.
Yeah.
Like say it was Roblox, that was the next big marketing space for artists. Like what are the things? How would you approach that? Like
how I'd approach it is I would go play Roblox for 100 hours and just be bored in it and find a way that it lights me up so that it's not pulling teeth. Because that's the other thing. Like when I post on TikTok, like I like making TikToks. I like editing TikToks. It doesn't like stab me in my artist heart. You know, it's not like killing me to do. So I'd have to find a way in Roblox world that's like that. But like, let's take something like virtual reality, because like I believe this in the future, virtual reality would be so good. It would be very hard to convince people to leave their home when you can like have them drone fly over the beach that the music video was shot in. Like So like being at a space like that early and just messing around and being there too early where it's like still bad. Like TikTok sucked when I was first on it.
Yeah.
The platform, like it was just buggy. I remember I had a video go viral and it just like disappeared. It was like,
Dang.
yeah, like 100,000 views overnight and it just like got deleted. It's like, what is happening? But just sitting there and being patient with stuff. And then also like, how does my brand and how's my authentic self show up in this place? Because it's not like if the huge market shift became like OnlyFans and like being naked or something, I'd be like, that's not me. Like I can't do that authentically. But like there are people who would crush that and it would be authentic for them and they should do it.
Right.
And there are people who see TikTok and they're like, I'm never going to say, send this to your person. And like, that's okay. They don't have to. But you just have to understand who you are. How do you show up in the world? Who are your fans? How do they want to be spoken to in a way that you want to speak? Like when those two things match up, gasoline, fire.
So the intersection of what and what?
Like how I want to speak and how my fans want to be spoken to.
Yeah.
The words and the ways that I use words and I communicate matches somebody else's. Like I've always said, it's like diary matching. It's like, hey, does anyone else's diary look like this? And there's like 100,000 people that go like, oh my God, my diary looks exactly like that.
What's the power of these algorithms, TikTok, being an example that allows you to do that?
I mean, it's certainly life-changing for me. It's when I look back at 5 years ago, before you could outkick your coverage, you could grow so minimally. Now I could post a song tonight and I could have the #1 Billboard song in the world. Yeah, that's never been on the table. And some kid from Minnesota tomorrow could do an acoustic version of Daisies by Justin Bieber and have 5 million monthly listeners in under 3 months.
Yep.
That used to take $1 million, $2 million, a label, a manager, a business manager, like all that stuff. So it's really cool. And it's very exciting to me. I think people get caught up in that it's very hard, but because everyone wants to do it, of course it's going to be hard. Like it should be harder than just like, I don't know, showing up and just like trying. It should be showing up, trying, getting really good at it, just like everything else.
Right. Yeah. I love that as a segue into year 10. So to that artist that is maybe your year 5 artist where, you're having a moment and blowing up and finally finding success and, putting together a show that people want to come to and releasing songs that they want to sing along to at those shows. Mm-hmm. How do you build a sustainable business? Like, how do you go beyond that one lightning rod moment and maintain a fan base? Really like continue to like engage them and connect with them. Like, what are you guys doing right now to make that happen?
Yeah, I think it's like feeding people like for real. Because I think you think of your favorite artist, you want the music to be really, really good, and you want as much of that really, really good music as you can. So figure out what way you can not sacrifice quality while upping your quantity. And for some people, that's like an album every 2 years, and that's just their honest answer. It's like, cool. Like, that's what I get from you. For me, I'm like, dude, I don't think my fans care if every song is a hit and every song needs to go to radio, because it doesn't anymore. So can I give them 10, 12 songs a year? Like, yeah, I think I can. Give them a ton of videos, let them into my life, show up in an authentic way, have real conversations. Like I go TikTok live, like usually damn near every night. Like I sit there for an hour and I talk with people. I know these people. I just played somebody in my band club's wedding last week, 2 weekends ago.
Oh, I saw that. You signed the dress?
I signed her wedding dress.
Was that yeah, that's crazy.
He wanted. I was like, okay. Which is awesome. And like, I have that because I talk to her like every night in some way.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
hey, what's up, Melissa? What's up, Emily? What's up, Taylor? What's up? Like, I know that Danielle Hood has been to 35 of my shows. I know Anna's going to be at the Atlanta show with her partner in the fall. Like, I can tell you who these people are, and I care, and I find ways to surprise and delight, and I find ways to connect with these people. Because there's a difference between being a passive fan and being somebody's like friend and feeling like you know them. And most of the artists that any of us would buy a ticket to, you feel like your diary matches theirs and you've chatted about it. Even if it's a one-way conversation, they're giving you moments for you to connect. And they're giving you enough music to connect. Like, it's very rare that I go see somebody with like a viral TikTok song that I like versus somebody with a medium viral song, but like 17 other songs. Like somebody like Band Camino for me is like, every song they put out, I feel like I get like a little Christmas gift. I'm like, oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
They're not getting 100 million views on the internet.
No.
They put out a ton of great music at scale. It feeds me. And so I want to show up for them because they feed me more than others. And like, their quality's not dipping. It's great. It's fucking awesome music. They rock. I would like tell the world how good they are. If you can click somebody over to that, it's such a different business model versus the like, pray to God you have one big hit so that people show up so that you have to do it again over the course of 4 years and go to radio and spend $2 million. Like, you don't need that anymore. What if you built a catalog of how I have like damn near 500 million streams? Some people have that in one song, which is great, but like, I want that too. I'll just let my fans decide. I'll let the internet decide. I'll just keep showing up and like, who knows?
Yeah, man. I love that approach. You talked about finding a way to scale quantity without giving up quality. Mm-hmm. Looking at different aspects of your business, let's start with music. What are ways that you've been able to do that? Really specific, tangible ways.
I found a producer who gets that vision. Like, I found somebody who believes that just as much as I do. I have a manager who believes that just as much as I do. Because I think as an artist, if you believe something and your entire team doesn't, it's like a bunch of people trying to row the same direction, and then you have the other side rowing backwards. You're just going to spin.
Your manager, Jeff, is not like a... Yeah, right. Your manager, Jeff, is not some like weathered music. I mean, he kind of is now at this point. But he didn't start...
Neither am I. Like, we aren't weathered music Belmont people.
Yeah. Do you almost feel like it's more important for your team to be would you rather your team be more bought into the mission, or like, I feel like I'm kind of answering it, but like, you know, like, what do you need, like technical expertise or belief in your mission? Like, what do you prefer?
You need both. I think belief in the mission is like an intangible. Like, I don't know if you can, or you can't even choose to believe or not believe in an artist. It's like, you hear them and you believe, or you hear them and you don't. And maybe they can click you over in the future, but for the most part, it's like, yeah, I get this.
Yeah.
And then you can always find better ways. Like, I'm always telling Jeff, like, hey, answer this email, do this thing. Like, we need to get better. We got to do this. That's just both of us still being babies in this industry.
Yeah.
And just figuring stuff out. Like, oh shit, did we do this wrong? Did we submit this wrong? Like, you're going to have that happen.
Right.
But Jeff's belief, and Jeff's the hardest worker I know. And if I said, hey, dude, we have to drive 2 days without sleep to make this show. I need you to pay $2,000 to do it, but I think it'd be a really, really great opportunity. Be like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
And we've basically done that.
How do you suss out that belief in who you are from other people? Like, what advice do you have for artists around that?
I would say that people need to date longer before they get married. I see people all the time, they go to one coffee and they're like, that's my label. I'm like, really? Like, I would never propose to a girl on the third date. I would be like, let's try something together. Let's like chat about this. Like, come up with, I want to hear your ideas. I want to hear what you think is cool. And then let's not talk for a week. And then let's go out to coffee. And I just want to hear about your life and all that stuff. And then 3 months goes by and you're like, I would love I would feel so lucky to work with this person versus signing all the contracts and giving them 90% of your life. And then I also think it's about the fire. It's not about the hire. Like if you feel in your gut that it's it's like the podcast. Like I just got to a point. I'm like, this is robbing me of my actual mission of music. I thought it was going to be additive. I was wrong.
Yep.
I'm not as good at this as I want to be.
Yeah.
I don't like the format. I don't feel like I'm communicating the way I want to. Okay. Well, pull the plug.
Yeah.
People going, do what happened on the podcast. Oh, it didn't work. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I've worked with tons of people in this town. There's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with me. It's just not a great fit. It's just like a breakup. It's not about like date as much as you want, but just be comfortable with the second you feel the legit feeling of, I don't think this is going to work. Just be honest.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. What about with, I mean, I feel like content's such a big part of your business. What are ways you've found to scale that?
I would say batch content. I think people get really in their head about every day make a brand new piece of content. It's like, I don't do that. Like I flew out to Joshua Tree 3 weeks ago. I made 80 TikToks and I'm ready to go for a while. And then I can make something during that day. I can have versions of it where I'm at home and in my car and all that stuff. So it feels different. And we shot with models. We shot with microphones. We shot in the desert. We shot in the Airbnb. So it looks different. It's going to feel like it's from that day. But that way I can really focus on, okay, this week I want to post these 5 videos. Maybe Thursday I have to make a video, but that's not bad. That's very doable. It's not doable and replicable to look in the mirror every day and go, okay, I have to have a viral video today. Yeah. Where do I start? That's a nightmare. That's horrible. I've been there. So batch content, if you're going to record a cover, record 5 covers. If you're going to record TikToks with a pro 4K camera, grab 12 and grab some stuff that's weird and grab some stuff that sucks and grab some stuff that's like, what if it was like this? You know, just like taking at bats because I posted 15 videos last week across platforms and all that stuff. And like one of them did really well.
Right. Yeah. When you're stepping into batching that content, what does your process look like in like planning it out? What do you guys, do you meet as a team? Like, what does it look like? How do you guys make decisions? I
think I watch stuff on the internet and I'll just go, oh, that caught my attention. And then I reverse engineer it. Like I'll sit here. I watch a lot of TikTok, which is not like, I'm not just sitting there watching TikTok for funsies. I'll sit there and I'll go, like the first video on my page, there's a guy in like full makeup. And I'm like, that makes me want to watch. Okay. Like, what's my version of that? Probably nothing. Somebody with a microphone. Okay, that's a performance video. Looks really, really good. Like, would that work for me? This person is, okay, that's a TikTok ad. That's Teddy Swims. Okay, I like how Ashley looks like she was like zoned out, kind of like listening to her own song, which created an itch in my brain. Like, ooh, she's listening. Should I be listening? So I just write things like that and I'll put the link next to it and I'll write, create an itch in the first 2 seconds like she is.
Where do you, is that just in your notes?
And I'll say videos to make. And I'll just keep scrolling. And like this guy, I like how he has a little mic and it's zooming out. So I'll say little mic, zoom out, speaking hook. And I'll go through all these and then some of them will suck. Like, this guy's a great hook. Real quickly, because I don't have time to play with you. It's a great hook. I don't even have my sound on. I want to watch. Yeah. He's got the little star sticker, like the acne thing. Like even stuff like that, you're going like, how do you just create little visual things? He's outside, he's on a walk, he's doing this thing. This person covered their mouth in the first 2 seconds of the video. This has 1 million likes. There's things like that you can glean while watching other people's content and go, why did I want to watch it? Why am I here at the end of a video crying? Because I have 2 seconds to make someone feel something really big. If not, you're fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. All right. So that's year 1 to year 10.
Yeah.
A couple follow-up questions. What percentage of your time, what is your time, like percentages look like between touring, content, music creation? Where are you weighting your time right now?
I would say I put time into those buckets in different allotments and like different phases and seasons. Like I'm getting out of my writing season, so I'm putting way less time into writing right now because I have a huge album that's going to come out this fall. So like it's not as important to write right now because I have songs. So now I'm in, like I have broken down my job into the 3 Ps, which is produce, promote, perform. I produce a product, I promote the shit out of that product, and then I go perform and tour that product. And so I just have those 3 buckets, and I'm always asking myself, do I need more songs? Okay, then I need to go produce. Ooh, how are we doing in the touring world? Okay, well, I need to promote to be able to tour. Like, and I just pour into those 3 buckets, and I only have so much time. And that's where like a great manager and people on your team can help you. And it's like, this is outside of my 3 Ps. I hate doing it. Can I, what's the word I'm looking for? Delegate.
Right. Yeah. What about looking at your revenue streams out of those 3? So I would say music, streaming,
Something like TikTok.
shows. Sorry?
Something like TikTok would be like a promote.
Yeah.
Stream.
Yeah. Even like, ad deals. And I noticed that you've done a couple of those recently. What, not specific dollar amounts, but like what percentages is your guys' revenue coming from?
Well, touring for us is most of the time like pretty much a loss at the state.
Right.
Like if I get home and I'm even, we're like high-fiving me like, hell yeah, we did it. Like,
yeah,
I'm going to be in a tour bus this fall. That tour bus is going to cost me so much money. Like so much.
Oh
money.
yeah.
It's unbelievable. So for me, especially with my catalog that I've built, I would say whatever, 80% of my income is streaming. And like getting a song on the highway will change your life as an independent artist. Like it's so helpful. But for me, if I have a song pop off, I own 100% of the master. 100%. So, well, not really, because like I have a distro and blah, blah, blah. But like in theory, I own 100% of the master. So like
a much larger percentage than like a signed artist.
I mean,
vastly.
10 times more. So even if a signed artist is streaming me 1.25x, as far as money, it's not really that way. And it's a weird world because you can look at everyone's numbers and be like, wow, they have 5 million monthly listeners. Like, well, yeah, they sit on Hot Country because they have a label. And even then sitting on Hot Country with a label going to radio, they're still making less money. Not even like in a bragging way, but like you just have to ask yourself what you want. Now that I've been on the side of the industry, I'm like, most of these streams are like fake or passive. They're not going to really help me sell a ticket. So I need to focus on real streams and real people. And I'd like to see real money come back from my real hard work. And for me, it just works that way. And there's no right or wrong answer. I might change my mind and go, you know what? It's time for me to take a bat at radio and try to get a bigger song that might end up paying me in the future. So I'm going to invest by giving up part of my business. That's okay. I just have to ask myself if I'm okay with that. Right now, because I own all this streaming and I just put out a song every month, every 6 weeks, those songs, one of them will pay for all of them. And then it kind of just builds this little catalog that you look at and you go, oh shit, I made $500 from this old song, $1,000 from this old song. And then you look and you go, yeah, that's super sustainable. And as long as I recoup on pretty much everything that I put out, which I do, then the numbers tell me just put out as much music as you can because it's going to come back. And, just strictly from a business standpoint, take out the art of it, take out the because it can feel like cold. It's not that. It's like, well, that's just more at bats. I love all this music anyway. Like it's just sitting on my phone. It's a representation of who I am now. Maybe I don't love it in 10 years. I don't know. I'm not me in 10 years. I'm going to hammer this thing that I do and that I love, feed people more than other people, And then rinse and repeat. And at the end of every year, I go, okay, is it getting better? Is it getting worse? I make adjustments and I move forward and I go, like, it's less calculated than some people think it is.
Yeah.
It's just going, it's trying, it's failing.
What if looking at year 5 you or year 3 you, what, an artist that's sitting in those positions, what is your recommendation for making this a living as quickly as possible? Like, what would you bank on first to get you to making a living as an artist?
I would find a producer who's willing to believe in you for real, and maybe give them more points or percentage, so you don't have to put as much money into it at the beginning, so you can make more music and go faster. So you can build a catalog, and then as the music does better and better, you can negotiate that deal, or you can change producers if that person stops kind of believing in the mission. Not as like a flaky, like just jump producer to producer, but just say like, hey, at the time I had no money. Now I have some money, so I'd like to pay you up front. Here's $5,000 for the song, and now you get 6 points instead of 50% or whatever. Like, but at the beginning, if you can find somebody that wants to go as fast as you, especially somebody that you like write with and that you click with, just get in a rhythm, just go, and you'd be shocked that from song 1 to song 10, your baseline just raises. From song 10 to 20, your baseline raises. I looked back at a bunch of my songs and I'm like, man, those songs have really changed my life. And I was like, wait a minute, those songs didn't really actually stream that well. Like when I really look back, because now my baseline is so much higher. And like this song that I just put out on Friday, I looked and I was like, how many streams does it have? And it has like 110,000 on Spotify in like a few days. That used to be what a song did for me in a year. In a calendar year on Spotify, it would stream hundreds of times a day. Now it's streaming what feels like hundreds of times a minute. You can watch it live. And so you just raise your baseline, and then even a loss for you becomes your greatest win. Like that's a crazy feeling where it's like, oh shit, man, that song only did 4 million streams over the course of a year. It's like, that used to be the song that I would like show up to shows, be like, thank you guys so much for singing with me. Like it just changes. You just keep raising your baseline and get really laser focused on who you are and why you're different. Like in a world of Morgan Wallens, in a world of Luke Combs, you're either better than them at that, or you are different in some way. Figure it out. Like, Luke Combs, he's really, really good at what he does. There are now 1,000 Luke Combs. They're not as good as Luke Combs.
Yeah.
There's a billion.
I just talked to someone about this with Florida Georgia Line. Just, a lot of people they're the easiest target on like to hate on with bro country, but they really started a movement.
People want to hate on bro country, but we were all fucking with Florida Georgia Line. Yeah. And we still are.
Yeah, we were all.
Do not lie. You tell me that lime on the rim of that Dixie. Like, it's just so good. I love it in a world of some like more Bob Dylan-y kind of like rambly storytelling. I love polish. I love like clear.
Get to the hook.
Yeah. I think that's sexy and fun, and I love it. And I also love like Humble and Kind, and I love Randy Travis. And they can both exist. I think people get so like, if bro country exists, then like real country's gonna die. It's like, no, Zach Top is like the biggest thing on planet Earth, and it's awesome. Yeah, they can both exist. We love the both.
Yeah. All right. Last question. Why? I feel so confused because you're like the third or fourth person on this podcast that's been like, streaming's my largest revenue stream. But all you hear over and over and over again is streaming is broken, and artists can't make enough money, and I'm sure you've heard this, but like what there's some like dissonance there. Like can you just like,
it's both,
walk me through that?
It's
like,
funny because off the back of that conversation, you have to hold both things, even though they're paradoxical and almost counterintuitive and like at odds with one another. Now is the easiest time to make a living as an artist on planet Earth If you disagree with that, I don't think that you've done your homework, in my opinion. It's also maybe one of the hardest times on planet Earth to like build a business and do it because it's so saturated and because it's harder and harder to get on playlists and all those things. Now, in my opinion, I think it is easier now, but the broken part of it is while I'm making money that I want to make in streaming, I still believe I should be making more money, because if you're telling me a stream of my music is worth 0.004 cents a stream, and Spotify is making like net revenue, whatever, like $100 billion, whatever they're making. Fact check me on that. But like, they're not paying artists as much as they could, even by raising it to 0.008 cents or whatever, what it used to be.
Yeah, doubling that. They would still walk with $90 billion, and artists would have more money in their pocket and all that stuff. So, you know, I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theory. It's corporate greed. You watch these labels, like take me out of the equation. You watch signed artists. People with number ones are out here. They can't afford a car payment. They're broke. Right. They're broke as a joke, yep. And it's not attacking anyone. It's fucked up because these labels are making $14 billion a year, and then they're paying their artists jack shit. And it's just corporate greed. It's corporate greed across the people who really get hosed are songwriters. Yeah. It's not even close. The whole songwriting thing is so broken to the point that like if every songwriter said, I'm going to stop writing songs because it's so broken, I'd be like, I get it. For artists, it's cool because we can own masters, we can do all these things. But I still think it's getting better. I think there's some legislation that's gotten better. But overall, it could and should just be so much better. And I think it's because we actually don't value art the way that we say we do. Right. We'll go buy a t-shirt that we'll wear 3 times for $28. And you'll pay $10 a month to listen to every song that's ever existed for eternity. That's so stupid. In my opinion, we should value a streaming service at roughly $100 a month. If we really say we love music the way that we do. And here's the deal. If Spotify said, hey guys, we're going to up this. We're going to make it $20. We're going to match the other $10 and pay artists more. And every penny goes to artists. I don't think anyone would cancel. No.
That is my huge PR thing. If Spotify's really, if Apple really, if all these companies really, and I love these companies because again, I'm sitting in a house paid for by these companies. I'm very thankful for them. It's not me shitting on them. It's just a constructive criticism. Make streaming services more money, but make it go directly to the artist, not to the corporate entities. If that happened, everybody wins. But shareholders will sit there and go, but why? They don't understand the connection to we're making art and we need to feed these artists. And we should be the platform that does this because if Apple did that, everyone would run there. If Tidal did that, everyone would run there. Like, I don't think people understand how valuable that could be. That's just my like conspiratorial whatever, but I think it's real.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing your time. Just always have really like respected you and your like approach to this business and yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
Anytime. I appreciate you, and I see your passion for this side of the industry, and it's really cool.